Hello and welcome to another edition of Journeys in Fandom, or should we call it Journeys in Politics today?
Yeah, Journeys in Politics, episode 1.
Yes, it's the new spin-off series, if you've been following us, where we delve into the murky world of politics, because it's been the general election here in the UK as of 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's been exciting. We have a new government.
Yes, where we've seen some change. So
yes, a lot of change.
Oh, too much change. I'm old. Too much change, too fast.
Yes. So, dear viewers and listeners, just to pre-warn you, Tim has been out today, so he's very tired. Yes. And I stayed up all night on Thursday to watch the election, so I am broken. So, between us, we can probably form a functional human being.
Yes.
But the two of us definitely are not.
So we'll just see how this could turn into a ramble, or it could turn into a very short episode where we just go to sleep midway through.
The thing is, I remember when I was a young man, I could do this. You could just go all night and then start the next morning. You go, yep, it's fine. Yeah. But now, no. Just
the thought of doing it as well as drinking and being hungover, I just couldn't do that anymore. I just couldn't do it.
In fact, I never used to drink, didn't help, but I just can't. The thought of it just fills me with dread.
Oh, right.
Well, shall we jump straight into the news?
There's not been any Doctor Who. Oh, there was
technically.
Well, there's been two things. One thing today, hot off the press, we'll come to that in a minute. There's this spin-off thing's been floating around. Have you heard about it? There was
no
the Whoniverse thing ages ago. There was a rumor that there was going to be a spin-off with Unit and the Silurians and the Sea Devils, and then nothing else was said. And then this week it popped up again saying that Martha Jones was going to be in it along with Unit, and it's going to be Silurians and Sea Devils, but it's not official. It's just this rumor that seems to kind of go around in a cycle and pop up again. I don't know.
It's one of those things where we'll watch this space, but actually, unless someone official actually says something, like if Freeman comes out and goes, I'm going to be in this, we'll go, cool. But a random bod on Facebook,
that's kind of and I'd be very surprised if they're going to do anything like that at the moment. I suppose if they're not going to be filming for a bit anyway, they've got a gap. They could film it.
True.
I don't know. I've got other news as well. We'll get to the other
news.
Doctor. I'm going to jump around because I'm tired. Have you watched The Boys yet?
No, because I need to watch Gen V.
You need to watch Gen V first. I finished it last night. Not only is Gen V brilliant, but there's things in that feed into The Boys. So you need to watch Gen V.
Yes, this is what I was told, so therefore I haven't watched The Boys yet because I haven't watched Gen V.
It's good. It's really good.
Told I need to watch it. Yeah.
The reason why I was like, I've got to talk about it. It's the first time I've watched something on Amazon since they put in adverts. And you get an advert at the start, and that's it.
Well.
Is this because it's only an hour long?
Yes. In movies, they can be in the middle of a movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Literally, you'll be building up and suddenly surprise advert, and you go.
I'll have to give it. I'll have to watch a random film. But no, it's like 15-second advert at the start, and that's it. So I was quite chuffed with that. I could live with that.
And depending what mood it's in, sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 45, sometimes it's a couple of adverts. It depends what it's feeling like.
I've only had 15 seconds, and they were the same advert nearly enough every time.
Yeah, and depends what mood it's in.
And it was an Amazon advert, but I thought it was good. But no, Gen V, you need to watch it. It's good, and they've got a second series for Gen V, so that's really cool because I really liked it. I thought it was good, and it's still the same.
Talking of The Boys,
yes.
Have you seen the other rumours that have come out?
No.
Regarding Homelander and Queen Maeve, whose names I completely forget. Anthony Starr and her name I forget.
No.
There's accusations of inappropriateness, which is what left him to quit acting and all sorts. And you go, no, not this, not again.
No, he's great.
It's one of these things of, if it's true, deal with it. If it's not true, squash it. Just resolve it.
That might be the reason why I saw something and went, oh, okay, fair enough. Is that going to happen? Yeah. Because I don't know how many series they've got left with it. But no, he's great. Homelander's just an awesomely unhinged character. And he's a great actor. But if he's done something he should have done, well, there we go. They're going to have to do something about it, aren't they?
Yes,
Other
but that's the thing.
news.
It's so new that no one really knows what's going on. And the problem is, it's again, random bloke on Facebook says, and you go, but actually they were able to leak the entire season 4 synopsis perfectly. And you go, oh god, that might mean they actually know something. Who knows?
Oh dear. Okay, well, we'll see how that pans
But yes.
Other news is hot off the press is Ncuti Gatwa is going to be at LFCC Winter November this year.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That was launched today while I was at LFCC, which annoyed me because the website was down because everyone was trying to access the website because it's LFCC. I was like, I want to get the tickets. Well, no. I was going to look at the price of the tickets, and then he fell off my chair. So let's have a look. He's in the top bracket, isn't he? So on its own, £125 autograph, £95 photo, or you can get a diamond pass for £295, which guarantees you both and get to the front of the queue. We've talked about it before, not including access to the building.
Yeah. May I sound slightly grumpy for a moment?
You may.
So remember when Tennant did Winter LFCC?
Oh, yeah.
2010-ish? That era?
It was about that, yeah.
Yeah, that era, when he was at his height.
He'd left Doctor Who and he was still relatively famous.
Yeah. Yeah. It was 35 quid.
Matt Smith, when he did his first one, was under 100, wasn't it? It was about 50, 75, something. It caused a bit of a stir, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the thing.
£25.
I don't. Is it worth it?
I don't know.
In all honesty,
it's in my brain as a seed to kind of go, is it worth it? But I don't know. It's a lot of money, and the diamond pass. Arguably, if you've got other people to see, it's good, but it's only for him, so it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems expensive.
Very expensive for some. I suppose because he's. Sorry, go on.
Admittedly, I might just be old because I'm comparing it to 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was a different.
Obviously, inflation exists. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a different market back then, wasn't it, in terms of how they do things, and he's current, and any chance they can to exploit that currentness of Doctor Who. Well, it's a big TV film person; they'll do it, won't they? But 200. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems expensive.
It does. Well, speaking of LSE.
Who knows?
Speaking of LFCC, I was there today, and it was a weird experience.
Why was it weird for Tim?
Well, it was empty. Well, it felt empty. It was odd. So
LFCC Summer is like one of the biggest ones. That should be shoulder to shoulder around.
Well, last time I went was 2022, so it was after COVID. It was the first big summer thing that people were doing, and it was rammed.
Yeah.
I remember I got there. It took me a good half an hour to get in. The queue was outside. It was snaked around. It took me ages to get in, and it was just absolutely rammed. They had 2 halls open, and it was just heaving. So I was expecting the same today. So obviously got there at the same time because I actually looked, and it was the same train I got 2 years ago. I got the same train there. We were late arriving because there was tube disruption, so we'd lost about 10-15 minutes. Got there, and I'd already seen on the website the queue wasn't going to be where it was because they're doing buildings. So do you remember when we went to the winter one when it's really cold? It wasn't LFCC, it was Collectomania, and it was like snowing, and you had to go in through the wooden doors and go that way.
Christ,
So I thought, oh god, we're gonna have to go through there. So here we go, no queue outside. I thought, oh, well, maybe the queuing inside. Got to the security thing, checked the bags. Okay, right. Expecting to see the queue. Walked into what was obviously a queuing hall, and it was nobody there. We just literally walked straight in. This was before 11 o'clock. So it had been open since 9. Fair enough. But you don't get early entry these days. It is just literally, you just rock up.
Yeah.
everyone rocks up together. So it was open at 9. So it'd been open for about an hour and a half. Walked in straight away. They only had one hall open, the big one, the main one.
Yeah.
Same layout as it was before. So they had all the guests and all the photo shoots. No, correction. All the guests and all the signing, and the main photo shoot was upstairs, and they had a secondary photo shoot downstairs. So it was kind of all on the concourse, and all the traders were on the downstairs, which I thought was quite cool anyway. It's quite nice. But yeah, it wasn't busy. There were queues, don't get me wrong, there were queues for the autographs, but if we're talking Diamond Pass versus just buying an autograph ticket, yeah, Janice Richards had a big queue, Rupert Grint had a big queue, someone else, I can't remember, had a big queue, but they weren't massive snaking Stanley style queues. They were, you could walk past them and there was a queue.
And were they in their own little booth with its own little separate queuing area?
No, they were obviously placed strategically for the queuing, but they were with everybody else. They weren't like cordoned off like Stan Lee was and all the other people were. Yeah. They were just next to everybody else. In like,
weird.
Yeah, it was odd. That I think there was another room like there was 2 years ago where all the other guests were, and that was kind of a big open space, and they were all kind of around the edges, and you just sort of queues went into each other, but they were just relatively small. But yeah, they were on the concourse, so the main people were not in that throng. You could see them. So I was walking along, and it was Rupert Grint. Just like you could just walk along. So it's bizarre, but it wasn't busy. Well, I say busy, but I was expecting it to be absolutely rammed, like shoulder to shoulder rammed. But no, you could see the floor all the time when you were walking about.
Like one of my mates went, and he's got a photograph of his little one meeting Rupert Grint while the official photograph being taken.
Ooh,
and I went back in our era. You wouldn't got anywhere near it.
No, you'd have the bald-headed security guard, wouldn't you? That really fierce one that was always there.
Oi, no.
And like we went past Miranda Curtis from Star Wars. She just sat out with everybody else. And you're thinking, well, she's pretty big. You just walk along.
Did you mean Star Trek?
What did I say? Star Wars.
Yes.
I'm tired. You know what I mean.
We're getting cancelled, Tim. We're getting cancelled.
I'm tired. Some woman from some sci-fi show. No, it's weird. It was genuinely, I wasn't expecting. It didn't get busy. It got the more people there, but there was loads of food places, and you could queue for them and not wait very long. You could sit down.
What?
So they had like the main talk area. Yeah. They had a couple of mini talk areas. So twice we sat down, once to watch the guy talking about Lego Star Wars, which was quite cool, just randomly. Another time there was no one there. We just sat down on chairs. And it was bizarre. I've never been to a convention that LFCC like it. I don't know what it is. Does that mean
it was really well organised and done perfectly, or there was just no one there?
I don't know.
I think your little wry laugh there means you have more to tell me.
Oh no, they're never well organised. Always chaos, isn't it? It's mainly organised chaos. It works, doesn't it? They've got a model, but it's the people that they're always trying to organise. Is always convention. Always, I don't know. I generally don't think there's as many people there as normal. Weather could affect it. It was raining, which is another bizarre thing. Yeah. July in London, and it was raining and it was cold.
Yeah. Could it be the cost of living is hitting and the bubble has finally burst?
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, if back in the day, if you were getting an autograph for a celebrity for 50 quid, that was your limit, compared to 125 these days.
I've never paid 50 quid for a celebrity.
You know what
I think my cap was like 10 and at 35, I think. But again, this was 15 years ago.
Yeah. So I think, but I think for me, 2 years, something's changed in 2 years. And it could have been 2022 was the first proper summer after COVID, so everyone had gone out. That could be a reason. And now, obviously, it's died down and cost of living's kind of got in there and it's kind of balanced itself out. Obviously, I've not been to many conventions other than that one, so I can't really comment.
Because normally Saturday is absolutely rammed. It's like Sunday, you'd hope to be able to walk round.
Yeah, I was thinking, it's going to be rammed, but we're going to go and just have a look round. But no, it was, you could leisurely walk. It was like a Sunday, convention. You could leisurely walk around. You weren't getting bumped by people.
Yeah.
You could sit down. You could eat food. You could just chill out. You got in straight away, which is bizarre. That's the first convention I've never queued for.
Question for you. MCon versus LFCC, which was busier. Interesting.
MCon was busier, but the venue was smaller. So I think because of that... No, correction. LFCC would have been busier just for the sheer number of people, but it felt busier at MCon because the arena was smaller, so you were packed in small. So yeah, it felt busier at MCon than it did at LFCC. That's just because it's the trick, sort of like a illusion, shall we say? Yeah. So that's fair. It's bizarre. So cool. if I do go to the winter one, obviously that one I've got nothing to gauge with whatsoever. Yeah. I've never done one like that for LFCC, but
I think if Ncuti's there, it will be busy.
Oh, it'll be busy because he's there both days as well. So it'll be.
Oh,
yeah, I think it's Saturday and Sunday.
Well, because I know. Again, when the big guys usually been to one day.
Let's have a look. Just double check that. Yeah, he's there. Oh, sorry, only Saturday. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be. Oh yeah, he's doing a green screen photograph as well. They're really milking him for everything, and the talk's £20. So to get into a talk with him, you've got to pay. Green screen photograph, £140. Wow. Yeah, for a green screen photograph, it's going to be shit. £140. £95 for standard photo shoot. Whew. It looks like you can't buy the autograph ticket online yet, which is a bit weird. You can buy
is it still the case of they print them straight away and you get to see it instantly?
I think so. I could see people walking around with them, so I think they print them on the spot or near enough. Yeah, interesting. But there you go. LFCC, interesting. Don't know why.
Weird. So roll on winter LFCC so we can compare.
Yes. Right. Let's get down to business, shall we?
Yes. Journeys in politics.
So
I think the easy question, were you surprised by the result? Gee, what is that on your background?
There he is.
Oh, God. Oh, Tim, what have you done?
I had to find one for you. I'll change it back.
Oh, he's vile.
Sorry, for those who can't see, I've just put on Reform UK's victorious leader. I'll go back to the wall.
The Führer.
Oh, God, I have to clear that off me thing now. It's stuck on my recent items. Clear recent items. Right.
Oh, dear.
Yes, so interesting election, I thought.
Yeah.
For lots of reasons.
Yes. Where do you want to start? Because there's a lot to talk about. Should we talk about the surprise, the Lib Dems? Because obviously they were a surprise.
I think this is the big one for me. And it goes, the election was, Labour didn't win it, the Tories lost it, if that's the best way to describe it.
Well, the Tories lost it for one reason, and it's light blue in colour. Yeah.
And, people were voting anyone but them, and the Lib Dems benefited.
Yes.
Reform benefited, and the Greens benefited.
I hate to say it, but if Reform did not exist, I don't think Labour would have won it.
No, I agree. I think
because lots of the swings were literally people. You could see it on the charts, literally like 18%, 20% swings here and there.
Yeah,
and if 3/4 of those people voted Conservative, it was obliteration.
Yeah,
I think Farage saved the UK. And that, out of context, is horrific as a quote, but actually, in the context of the election and him splitting the right-wing bastard vote, then actually he saved our ass. And what's even worse is because he doesn't understand first past the post, he got 13, 14% of the vote?
They were
and
third.
Got nowhere.
Yeah. It's regardless of whether you like them or you don't, it does highlight how bad our electoral system is for fairness, because they got more votes than seats in the balance of all things.
Yeah, but it allows for tactical voting. And actually, the Lib Dems benefited greatly because they actually focused. They went, right, I'm going to win that seat. I'm going to do it by 1 vote, 2 votes, 20 votes, however many I need to, but I'm going to win it. And if I'm not going to win it, I'm not going to bother with it. And I was looking at the vote percentages, 2019 versus 2024. So Lib Dem in 2019 got 12% of the vote. In 2024, they got 13%. And they went from having like no seats to all the seats in the world. Labour had the same. So literally they went from, I was literally sitting with the news clicking screenshots of stuff. So Labour went from 33% of the vote, and they were being told they'd been wiped out as a political party for the next generation, to 35% of the vote, and suddenly they've got the biggest majority since Tony Blair.
Yeah, that was an interesting stat because I was looking at it from the BBC. They actually won fewer votes than Jeremy Corbyn did in 2017.
Yes. Which
is bizarre. Yes.
And less than 2019.
Yeah, which is absolutely bizarre. And that's why I kind of said it didn't feel like an emphatic victory like it did in 97, where Blair genuinely won it based on popularity. It felt like we don't want the Tories. We're going to vote for whoever else is. And they benefited the most from the people who just don't want to see the Tories in power again.
Yeah. And the turnout was dire.
Oh, it's awful, wasn't it?
Absolutely dire.
Really. So there's so many, when you start picking into it, there's so many issues with, and you can sort of see why people, it was a subdued kind of atmosphere. All the Labour Party people were like, yay, but it doesn't feel like a victory. It feels like it was kind of like, it was always going to happen. And there's still lots of underlying issues there that actually, if they only won because people chose not to pick the Tories.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. The lights just gone out. Bear with me.
Oh, I have a cough.
So I think if it runs again in 5 years' time, it'll be very different. And that's what I think Starmer's got to worry about.
Oh, for sure. And I think this is my fear. He needs at least 10 years to reset everything. But he's got to hit the ground running literally on day 1, hour 0 kind of thing. Because otherwise he's going to get judged instantly, because you could already see in the right-wing sort of leaning papers already attacking him on the next morning.
Yeah, well, it was a very interesting thing, because it's kind of like, he's like, oh, well, we don't really want you either, but we'll have you because we don't want them. And it's opened up a very interesting dichotomy now, because we talked about it before, haven't we? You've got Labour, who've got this super majority, but they've got to get things done, and I think it reminded me of Obama when he came in, and it was all this thing about change and stuff like that, and he did that speech. His victory speech was very subdued, and he was like, look, it's not going to happen overnight, and it never did. Starmer was the same, kind of said, look, we're not going to just click a button and cost of living is going to go away and all this other stuff's going to go away overnight, because it's not. And I think, yes, it's good to have someone else having a go at it, but he's got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
And people will start hammering them if they don't get it done.
Oh, God, yeah. I thought his acceptance or victory speech was very good.
Oh, yeah, fair play to him.
It was just nice, reserved, and considered.
Yeah.
And you just go, actually, it's going, we as a government are going to work for you as a people, and we're not going to do it based on populism or cronyism and all that stuff. And we are going to do it from tomorrow. And you go, fantastic. And then the next thing you know, you've got bloody matey boy going, oh, he checked his notes 150 times every 2.8 seconds. Yes, because he wrote a speech that was actually had facts and figures and content rather than riffing off the top of his head, you madman. Just what the hell?
Dear.
But again, if he riffed off the top of his head, he would have been told, oh, you weren't prepared for that speech. So whatever he does, he's going to get picked apart from all sides. The fact that no one knows much, unless you're like a political follower, about all the new Labour people. So actually, as soon as one of them does anything, they're going to get hauled over the coals. And like half of them haven't been in government before. So like I saw a tweet saying, he's actually appointed experts to do the job. And then someone else literally replied with, these are what the people did before being a politician. And you just go, it started already. Literally, we're day one. And the lines have been drawn.
I think that's it.
I think the Conservative Party is going to be interesting.
Well, that's where are they going to lurch more to the right in attempt to fix the problem? Or are they actually going to realise that, no, we need to be central to fix the problem? They're going to lurch more to the right because that's all they got left. Because they're more scared of reform than they are of the Labour Party. Because it was so interesting, the day of the election, the Daily Mail had on its front cover, vote Farage, get them. And again, love him or hate him, he was in the videos with the paper folded in half that just said vote Farage. And he's like, oh yeah, thank you very much. And he's like taking the mick. They're more scared of reform than they are of Labour. And it's just like, if they're scared of, they're going to lurch more to the left to try and tempt those people back.
Because I know there was one of the Conservative people, what's her name? Her name's gone, but she was saying people didn't vote for us because we aren't conservative enough. And we're going, you're the most right-wing monsters you've ever been. If that's not conservative enough, God help us all.
Oh yeah, I think they'll go right before they realise, and before
they're also saying we can't reform.
Well, then the only way to do is to join them.
Yeah,
bring them together.
I think literally the Conservative Party can tear itself apart. You're going to have enough, and in the ashes, you will have Reform 2.0, which would be horrific.
I think it's not the saving grace of them because they lost a lot of moderates as well. What was left, they got they got rid of the election, and also people just panicking and resigning. Got rid of a lot of the people that people are holding responsible. So the Liz Trusses, the Johnsons, the Goes, they've all gone for whatever reason.
Yes.
And you got Priti Patel seems to have not got anything on her. She seems to have kind of dodged all that.
Because she bailed early.
She bailed early, so she's kind of all right. Penny Mordaunt was all right, and she's gone. She was a moderate in all that stuff, but she went. Jeremy Hunt, again, seems to have got nothing on him. He's been quite... He kind of came in and saved... I don't know how
he's got nothing on him. Yeah.
But he kind of came in and saved the day, didn't he, when Liz Truss was messing up and stuff like that. So he's kind of got...
Yeah.
And he was also responsible for the tax cuts, which, again, in people's eyes is good. So he's not got anything on him. Suella Braverman, but she's really popular. Yeah, she's popular. It's Tennant's mate, isn't it? Kemi Badenoch. Is it? She's the bookie's favourite to become leader, but it's whether people want to do it. It's whether people would rather wait until it's in a better position, or would they see this as an opportunity to put their name there and say, I built it back up. It's that difficult thing, isn't it?
Anyone with any sense will do what Johnson did and let someone try and then come in and go, it's time for me to fix it all now. Don't worry, boys, I got this.
Yeah, it's kind of like, do we just let it's in a mess, let someone else do all the hard work and then just step up and take it when it's right? But I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to watch the next, up to Christmas it'll be, won't it? Because they haven't really sorted themselves out. They've got till September. He's already said he's going to resign, so that's fine. He's still got his job, which it did make me laugh. And part of me thought, wouldn't it be funny? And I knew you want to see the Tories get out, but part of me wanted to see him win with like a majority of 2 and have to suffer for another 5 years, just as a bit of penance, a little bit more, just to kind of go, okay, I've got in, but I can't do anything and everyone hates me. Damn it. I've got to do 5 years of this.
Yeah.
But he's still got his job, which I find really funny that he's like, I've got to stay. I don't know. There's a lot of names there. You think, because I forgot about Priti Patel. I thought she'd gone into House of Lords, but she only got a dame, didn't she? She wasn't made a baroness or whatever. So she's still flopping around.
Yeah, I think the Conservatives will lurch really right wing, and it's going to be horrific, and they will try and out reform.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They've got their eyes focused on them, And that was what they'll, because they'll look at it and go, oh, we lost all these votes to reform, we need to get that back. But actually, really, a lot of people voted reform or Lib Dem or Greens because they didn't want to vote for you. So it doesn't matter who they picked.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. They just picked someone who wasn't you. So actually, you'll probably find the next election that will probably shift round and it'll be a bit more even because people have had 5 years of something else and they go, oh, maybe I do want them.
That's the thing. I know we've said that it's not going to change overnight, but the problem is Kier Starmer has to change everything overnight because otherwise, in 5 years' time, he's going to get voted out.
And like him,
and we can have Nigel Farage PM.
Well, like him or not, his policies were really weak, and there was not much facts to him. So, like, he stopped the Rwanda thing, fair enough.
Yeah.
But what's his alternative? It's all really wishy-washy, and there's no concrete thing to it, and you just think it'd be interesting to see how he handles the junior doctor strike, because that's one of the big things. And
I saw a note that's saying already they've offered to sit down and talk about it properly and engage, and you go, well,
which is fair enough, but they're not going to give him 32% pay rise or whatever it is, because that'll just set a precedent that you don't want at all. So that'll be interesting. There's a few other things that are just kind of bubbling over. I suppose the one thing you're not going to get is unprofessionalism. I think Kier Starmer has turned the party around in 2 years, 3 years, isn't it? So, and it's not going to be a shit show behind the scenes where they're all fighting, and there's not going to be any scandals as far as we're aware. It'll be professional.
And he can't afford any.
No.
This is the problem. The first time anything goes, it will be jumped on.
Wow. And the thing is, Labour are dogged still by the anti-Semitism and all that stuff. They're still dogged by it, and it'll just take somebody to say something. And like you say, the right-wing press will jump on it and say... And again, in a way, and again, I'm not defending it, but it's like the stuff in America. It's like, well, if you did that to us when we're in power, we're going to do that to you when you're in power. So it's tit for tat, isn't it? So they will jump on any little scandal, any little whiff of something not being right. Yeah. But he's what he did with Jeremy Corbyn, kicked him out. Did Diane Abbott stand? That's the other thing.
No, she wasn't allowed to.
Because it was like
she wasn't allowed to stand as Labour.
But he said they were. He said she was, didn't he? Maybe it was a long time ago, and I got tired of the election.
I still can't believe Corbyn won. And he gave everyone a thumping.
Yeah, but he is a traditional local MP.
Yes,
and that's the thing people forget. MPs are there to represent the people of their constituency. So, like Richard Tice, apparently, is moving to Skegness because that's where his constituency is now.
Yeah, well, old Farage is building a 3-story house in Clacton. He found an old derelict one and is building a 3-story thing.
So all these career politicians and ministers, you forget that the bog standard foundation of members of parliament is to serve their constituency first. And that's like, again, I don't particularly like Jeremy Corbyn, but that's what he's popular for because he deals with stuff in his constituency.
Because what did they say? He's been there for 41, 42 years?
Yeah, long time. So
actually, I think he'll be there till the end of time.
Yeah, some people are. And some people are career politicians in that way. Yeah. Doing good stuff for their local communities rather than just these people who come and use it as a bit of a stepping stone for other things.
Yeah, for sure. Were you surprised by any of the Portillo moments?
The Portillo Geddon website crashed almost immediately and never came back up. I was annoyed by that. Liz Truss is funny. I haven't seen the video, but apparently it's really funny when she tries to get off stage after the count or something, and it all goes a bit awkward, like it always does.
She was the last one. She was the last one to be on stage for the results and all sorts. She's just a terrible human being, and that's as nice as I can be about her.
Count Binface saw an increase in his vote. That was good. I was quite pleased with that. What else was there? There was the man with the bean balaclava stood next to Rees-Mogg,
Jacob Rees-Mogg, yeah.
Yeah, that was
because he lost, didn't he? Yeah. He's gone.
That was nice. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
the list of them. We just knew they were going to go. They just knew it.
Yeah.
I was genuinely surprised about Penny Mordaunt. I thought she might have hung on because she's kind of been. She benefited from carrying a sword, and she seems to be quite
known. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's kind of tainted by it all. But I was surprised about her. I thought she might hang on.
Yeah.
There were a couple that hung on, like Esther McVeigh and stuff like that, who I thought were going to go.
Yeah.
Person around here, I predicted it. She was never going to go. She halved a majority. Reform came third in my constituency and took quite a lot of the votes off her.
Yeah.
But she's still here. So you just knew it.
Well, that's the thing.
You just know it.
Yeah. Well, like down my neck of the woods, we've got Great Yarmouth gone reform, Clacton's gone reform. And you go, oh, no. Is that the beachhead they need? If it's going to give them that platform to shout on a weekly basis.
I think the thing, and again, I'm not advocating for reform, but what they need to do, what he said they're going to do, is make the party professional. And I think if they can mobilise themselves and become more of a machine rather than just a collection of individuals, and I think I'm not excusing them, but I think it's how all the crazies have got in there is because they're not professional and they're just fly by night thing. And if they can root out all the crazies, they'll be in a better place, if that's the right phrase.
Well, it's like they had one of the reform chaps who I think got elected actually on BBC coverage, and he was sort of saying, "Oh yes, we paid this vetting company all this money to vet people."
Yeah,
and everyone's going, "That's a lie, mate. You had the ability to vet people, not they would vet them for you, and you didn't vet them." So you literally opened the floodgates to the nutters.
The Channel 4 thing, I think, was dodgy. That's just, there's too much wrong with that. But we're not going to go into that. That felt wrong, weird. That guy who was in character, whether he'd gone into business for himself or whether he'd been paid to do it, who knows? But he was in character. That's just too fishy for me. Too convenient.
Yeah.
The weekend before the election. But anyway, regardless. But they're an open goal for attacks like that anyway. But
yeah.
It's an interesting thing because quite a lot of people said, "Oh well, we're bucking the trend. Everyone else in Europe's moving to the right, we're moving to the left." But I think what we said at the start, it's not because people voted left; it's people didn't vote right, and they didn't want right, but they didn't want left, so they voted something else, and that's the skew in the pattern. I think in a normal election, we would go right because that's the way a lot of Western democracies are moving, because it's just a natural ebb and flow of cycles.
And that's the thing. Labour are hardly left anymore. They're very much central.
The Greens are the left. So there's some crazies
and the Liberals,
in the Green Party. And the Liberals arguably, So left and right doesn't really exist anymore anyway these days. It's this whole. I don't like.
Well, it does, but it's left or right. There is no. There is
I
no
don't like
middle.
the word populism because it's just a weird phrase, catch-all for. It's a catch-all for not traditional political parties. So if people can't explain it, they say it's populist. Yeah, because Trump was populist, but actually lots of people supported him for some very good reasons the first time around.
But I think the difference between a ground movement and populism is actually where you've got a thing you're voting for versus the person you're voting for. So,
I'll give you that. Yeah,
like reform. Reform was, we have no policies whatsoever apart from be evil, but it's Nigel Farage. And
cult personality,
but also their policies were, we're going to stop immigration, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But you've not actually given us any concrete detail. You've got some broad ideas that actually you've not got to defend how you're going to do them, because you're not going to have to do them. And this is the thing: if you gave me 90 minutes on prime time to promise the world and not have to cost anything of it, I could get elected. Next time on Journalism Fandom, Matt gets elected.
Well, there we go. We've got 5 years to build you up as the local constituency. Local businessman turned politician. See, look, it's writing itself. It's right.
Yeah, it does write itself. Yeah. Yeah, but this is the thing. It's a thought out policy versus here's some bullet points that I haven't got to justify, and I've got a free rein to promise a world, deliver nothing, because that's what they've got the option to do. Whereas if you know you can get elected, you've actually got to think about what you're putting, because people are going to say, right, you promised me this. Where is it?
I think that's as well.
And I think that's going to be Kier Starmer's problem.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, it's a difficult job. He's in a totally different position to Tony Blair was, because it was completely different economic climate back then, and a lot of things needed changing anyway. He's got a lot. Yeah, it's a difficult job to do, and I think the budget will be the big one. Their first budget will be really interesting, because they're going to get hammered if they raise taxes in any shape or form. When they've dodged that question so many times, saying about council tax, especially council tax. If they raise something, they're going to get hammered for it.
The issue they're going to come across is because councils have been so hammered with the amount of money they get, half of them gone bankrupt, and the only money they get is council tax. So something has to give.
Yep.
You cannot be expected to provide A, B, C, and D on a fixed budget. It is physically impossible. So something has got to give. But at the same token, no one wants taxes to go up, especially me, because being same as you.
Yeah.
One income family, you just go, it's just not ideal at all. And it's this thing of, well, where do we go? Because like we said, half the councils have gone bankrupt. There is such a hole in the finances that I wouldn't want that job. And you just think, oh Christ. But it's a case of did they actually promise about utilities to renationalise them and stuff like that?
Yeah,
or was that just time?
No, they talked about. I was reading the thing yesterday about like a national energy something. It wasn't like renationalising as such, but
because I think Norway has something like that, and their like rainy day fund is trillions, because they basically said, right guys, you're going to have our oil, are you? Okay, here's the bill. Yeah, and their fund they've got from that is huge.
There was a thing which broke down really simply what their manifesto was supposed to deliver. Oh, it's got lost. It's all the bloody England football stuff on the website.
Oh no.
Yeah, there was a page that had stuff, because I didn't realise he was going to appoint a COVID commission czar or something to hunt down all the dodgy dealings that had gone on over
to be fair,
all these contracts.
That's low hanging fruit, isn't it? Audit them to hell. And the fact,
but then
wasn't there a pile of like PPE in the middle of the square kind of thing, just going, this is a joke. How do you burn that many millions and billions of pounds on crap?
That was just all a mess anyway. Oh, I can't find it. There was a page and it was all the stuff, but there was a railways thing that they were going to do some kind of national. And no, the railways thing was every time a railway franchise contract came up, it would go back to the government to run. Mm-hmm. So gradually they'd all be flipped.
Yeah,
which I thought that was quite interesting, because they're doing it with half a dozen of them already anyway, so it makes sense.
But like people said, we have the highest rail fares in Europe by a long way, and our trains are crap.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
But that's the thing, you go to Germany, there's a train every 5 minutes and they're perfect. You come here and you go, nothing works.
Yeah.
These are not 5-minute fixes.
No.
Well, the problem is that's not the job of central government. It's a job of highways, which is regional or county councils.
Yeah.
Look at me knowing who does what. But again, they've got no money. Yeah, they've got no money, so they can't fix them.
And then obviously
because they're funded by council tax.
The big one is the NHS. They're going to start poking around trying to fix that. That's going to be difficult. That is going to be really difficult to fix.
Yes.
And I don't know whether they could do it, but we'll see.
But they're sort of saying about dentists and ability to get NHS appointments. You go, the NHS is sacrosanct. You cannot mess with the NHS. Like bloody Farage going, we need an American style system. No, we do not, because that kills people. That literally people die of not being able to afford to have medical treatment. Whereas here, no. There's no way. But that's it's so difficult to try and fix it because how do you fund it? It's funded through national insurance and yeah.
It's all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's all filth. It's the taxes and stuff like national insurance and investment and things like that. So another one.
It's such a difficult one, and I don't envy the job he has, in all honesty.
Nope.
But if he does it sensibly and considered, and doesn't rely on big flash, and let's face it, he's not going to be big and flashy.
No, he's not like ignore Sunak. Oh no, it's just Johnson, really. Let's just be honest. That just flash and obviously no, sensible. I think that's probably what you need. Someone who's just facts and figures, man. A bit sensible.
Yeah. I think the classic 100 Days is going to be a real judge of...
The problem you've got is he's Mr. Sensible. Sunak was not a campaigner. Starmer could come a cropper if he gets someone charismatic up against him, wherever they're coming from. So, again, love him or hate him, Farage is far more charismatic than Starmer. And it just needs someone 5 years' time who's far more charismatic in front, side by side. And people like a charismatic person. Again, Boris Johnson, love him or hate him, lots of people liked him because he was charismatic.
Yeah.
And Tony Blair, very charismatic, things like that. David Cameron, same thing, very charismatic in his own right, against Gordon Brown, if you compare the two of them.
Yeah.
So you can argue, just needs someone to stand up and start having a go. And
I think he needs to have a record that is beyond reproach.
Yeah, that you can actually.
His government needs to be the squeakiest of squeaky clean. So that there can be no scandal, there can be no issue, there can be no pizzazz. It's just got to be solid, by the numbers governing.
Yep.
And that's because he's not flashy. He's not going to play that game, I hope.
No.
And if he tries to, he'll be shown up for not knowing what he's doing. But if he just goes, right, he's a ex barrister, isn't he? So actually, go by let's just do it. Facts, figures, detail.
I think that's why he just
does that.
Prime Minister's Question Time, because it's that kind of barrister environment. I hate the whole Commons. Blah, 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 blah. It really annoys me. That really annoys me. That's antiquated and needs fixing. But it just no matter who's doing it, it's just like ugh. It's a pomp and ceremony about it all. But he does really well that because it's like it's like being in a courtroom.
Yeah. If you try and argue with him on facts and figures and numbers and detail, you're going to get absolutely shat on. Yeah. But if you get someone who's just charisma in a bottle, then he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Even with a majority of like 1 million. So he can do whatever he wants for the next couple of years, but he's got to get it done and do it sensibly.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's going to be an absolute mess. It was like the amount of people I spoke to who were sort of saying, I said, what are you voting? They went, no, they're all as bad as each other. That was the key statement I heard.
Yeah, and that's it. It's that there's like that guy on Question Time saying, is this the best we've got?
Yeah.
Is the alternative is you. So a lot of people didn't vote because they just got sick of the system.
Yeah.
The system, and that's what Farage plays off, is this concept of we're not in the system, we're different. That's like Trump. It's the same thing. It's the whole we're not the system. And arguably Trump more so than Farage because he genuinely wasn't a politician. He was from a different thing, whereas Farage is a career politician. We're not the system, so vote for us and we'll make a change. And that's where it comes from.
Yeah, for sure. What was I going to say? It's gone out of my head. Now it's completely gone.
Well, speaking of... Oh, that's quite a nasty, tenuous link. Things have gone out of your head. Biden still is hanging in. Yes, although his TV appearance last night didn't go down very well. Again, people have been criticising him.
How do you think Kier Starmer will get on with Trump when Trump gets elected?
Well, yeah, because he is. Let's be frank. I don't know. Well, the thing is, he could probably deal with him better because of his experience. And I suppose in some ways, it's that statesman-like thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did Johnson and Trump ever cross over? They didn't, did they? It was Theresa May,
Can't
wasn't
remember.
it? It was Theresa May was PM when he came over here. I remember that whole holding hands weird thing. But no, Starmer's a statesman, isn't he, really, to be fair? He's very good at it on that kind of stage. But I don't know how they're going to deal with each other because Trump is very frank and matter of fact. This is it. He likes Farage. He's obviously sent him that. He didn't speak to Kier Starmer and sent him that congratulating message because they're best mates, aren't they? Best buddies. So there's obviously that background. I genuinely don't know. It'd be an interesting thing to see how that relationship develops if Trump gets in, when he gets in.
Yeah.
Dare I say it?
I dread November.
It's going to be, again, we had this entertainment. We've now got a little bit of a break, and then we've got November. It's going to be hilarious for the wrong reasons. Because if Biden continues, Trump has already got him on the ropes. After one debate, he's beating him. And if Kamala Harris takes over, oh, good God, Trump will walk all over
Destroy her.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She might be the great example of a female politician in America, but she's done nothing. And she has no political kind of reputation. She's done nothing.
She's got no gravitas, has she?
No. And he will walk all over her. And I can't see her dueling with him like on a debate.
Who do you put up against him?
Oh, there's all these other rando names I've never even heard of, but if Biden's saying the only way he's going to leave if God tells him to, or something like that, is what he said the other night.
That's not ideal, is it?
I don't know.
Dear Joe, this is God. You want to step down, mate?
Yeah, you want to step down, mate, because you just it's not good. And I think the thing for me is we've been cringing about it for months, and it's so obvious. But the left-leaning press are still trying to spin. Because what was he? He had a cold.
Yep.
And then there's another excuse. It was jet lag, even though he'd been practicing for a week and had been back in the States for a week. And then it was something else. Jet lag, and then there was something else why he was tired. I can't remember. But it's three things. It was like excuses. Like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm sorry, but it's not. Really am sorry, but it's not.
The only way Trump loses is if he goes to prison. And as the Supreme Court just said he's immune to all prosecution, that ain't happening.
No, that ain't happening anymore because that sentencing has been pushed back till September now, and it's just going to get canned because that judge will not want to damage their career by sticking their neck on the line to get a conviction. Yeah. They'll back off.
Because aren't they appealing it based on official acts and stuff like that?
Because they were appealing on that because some of the evidence that was submitted for the prosecution was when he was president, and they're saying, well, that was part of his official acts.
So what they basically said is the only thing that can happen is you get impeached, and what's punishment for impeachment? Nothing, because you're immune to prosecution because you were president. What the hell? You've created a king. You've literally created a god.
Yeah. And the thing is, Americans,
you have your answer to no one.
Democrats are getting really worried because they could lose the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the presidency in one day.
Yeah,
which is normally this balance, isn't it? Normally one goes one way or one goes the other, but they could lose all three in one night, and that will just scupper them for at least a year before they have to do
a couple of years.
A couple of years. I can't remember. It's halfway through, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be a mess.
It's going to be messy.
And the problem is, what happened to America? It's going to tear itself apart.
Again, well, it's already still is. It's still an absolute polarised society at the moment.
Properly tear itself apart. Yeah, because that's the thing, like, using a Doctor Who reference when they're saying, the worst Prime Minister ever, and we're going, well, worst president, there he is. We literally said him. And he's coming back for round 2 to break it fully.
First, would he be the first president to be elected twice, or someone else did that a while back, or am I thinking
No, I think it's happened.
No, I don't think it's ever happened. Stephen Grover Cleveland,
elected
twice. 1885 to 1889, and then 1893 to 1897. There you go. Grover Cleveland, obviously.
My other fear, Trump gets elected, is best mates with Farage, next election cycle falls while Trump's president. So he will have Trump campaigning for him.
4 years, 2024, 2028, 5 years.
Ours is 5, isn't it?
Yeah, so no, it'd be the year after.
That's all right then.
So yeah, because it goes from 2028. Yeah, ours is 5, unless something happens where there's a snap election or something. But in that period, if Trump is elected, Farage is a member of Parliament, so there's that crossover that will happen there.
Yeah, he's going to get invited for dinners and all sorts, isn't he?
If Trump comes over for another state visit, which is all the less likely because they'll want to cozy up to him, he's going to do a big thing with Farage, isn't he? He's not going to walk away from that one.
No. Oh, it's going to be horrific. Trump visits Clacton. I can see it now. Him on the seafront playing slot machines, riding the old merry-go-round.
Crazy golf. That's it. There's the niche.
Yeah, Trump playing crazy golf with Farage. I can see the photos now.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. Oh, that would just be that'd make my day. That would. Having a pint and playing crazy golf.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
It'll happen. There you go.
Yeah.
Journeys in Politics fans, we're going to predict it now.
Yeah. I think we can't really top that, can we? I think that's a case of, you know what? Done.
Let's end the podcast on that
Trump
wonderful
playing
image.
Golf with Farage in Clacton. I can see it now.
Oh yes, I don't know what we're going to do next. We're going to have a bit of a holiday, maybe not do one every week, and then come back fresh, regenerated, and something will happen between now and the summer that we'll have to talk about.
We've got SummerSlam at some point, haven't we?
Oh yes, we've got Money in the Bank tonight as we record. And then SummerSlam is the first week in August. It must be because they do every thing. So that
let's come back for SummerSlam then.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Unless anything comes up in the meantime, let's go on holiday.
Rightio. Everyone's off to Clacton. Until next time.
Yay!
Cheerio for now.
Goodbye. Bye.